Good day, my dear ones. I'm here in one of my happy places with my hands in the dirt in my garden, planting things. This time I'm planting a flower. So I got to get a little water here. Then mix it in. Add a little fertilizer. Mix it in. Get my hands down in the dirt. And stick it down in there. Then I got mud all over my hands. But I have to tell you, when I'm doing gardening like this, it is a happy place for me. I spend a good portion of my free time with my hands in the dirt. And when I'm in that place, there's a connection I feel to God. I think of the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 7 where it says, God formed the man from the dust of the ground and breathed to him the breath of life. And I have this image of God with his hands in the dirt forming us as human beings. And as I've been doing some gardening these last couple of weeks and thinking a lot, I've been thinking about the racial tension we've been experiencing in our country. And I've been asking myself, where did it come from? This kind of racism that people of color have experienced for so many years. And I think of slavery. And I think of the horror of slavery. We've all seen pictures or videos or heard accounts of what that was like for people who were caught and captured and forced into slavery. And of course, it still happens today. And when I think about where does that come from? What motivates someone to do that? And there could be lots of roots of it, the desire for money, greed, desire for power, to be in control, to see yourself as superior than someone else. That all seems to be roots of racism. And they're all self-centered. But I also think of this. To see someone in a racist way, for people to have been involved with the slave trade and all the modern day equivalents of that, the injustice, the economic injustice, the discrimination, the redlining that would take place in certain cities when it came to housing, the denying of loans to people of color, and the other kinds of discrimination. I think one of the roots is this. We forget that God created human beings in God's own image. It says in Genesis chapter 1 verse 27, God created humankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them male and female. When God got his hands down in the dirt and created from the dust of the ground human beings, it says in Scripture, he created them in his image. How else can you justify the kind of racism or discrimination or, at its worst, slavery? Then we are forgetting that everyone is created in God's image, that everyone are image bearers of God. So maybe one of the ways out of the kind of racial discrimination that we find ourselves in is to remember that each person is created in the image of God. So here's the next step. The next time that you are with someone who in some way is different from you, maybe it could be the color of their skin, or it could be some other characteristic about them, think to yourself as you look at that person, say this in your mind to that person: you are created in the image of God. You are an image bearer of God. I think if we add this step to our thinking, that we'll begin to move away from any kind of racial discrimination, racist thoughts that we have. For we are all created in God's image. There's a song I teach the kids when I'm with them, the preschool children, and the words go like this: God made me just the way I am. Jesus made me right. I'll say it again in case I forget, and strange as it seems, I might. And we could also change that when you're looking at someone who's in any way different from you, and say to yourself, God made you just the way you are. Jesus made you right. I'll say it again in case I forget, and strange as it seems, I might. Let's remember today, friends, that all people are created in the image of God. Have a great day.